The Lagos State government has reiterated its commitment to offering best education for students of private and public primary and secondary schools in a conducive and secured environment through zero tolerance for unsafe, substandard school structures and failure to adhere to the state policy on safeguarding and child protection. This was disclosed by the Director General Office of Education Quality Assurance, Mrs. Runke Shoyombo, during an enforcement and seal-off of Multi-Vision School by the Office of Education Quality Assurance Monitoring and Investigation Department.
The school that has just been shut down this week is actually Multi-Vision School, Orile Agege, and that school has been shut down because of safety issue as well. Because what Lagos State is not ready to condone is for our children to actually be in dangerous apartments.
The Director General further disclosed that the management of the school ignored the ministry's earlier warning to relocate due to its location under high-tension electric cables, which is a threat to the lives of learners. The school is also unapproved.
We have gone to the school since January. We've given them warning letters and everything for them to remove our children because that was a school under high-tension wire. Children cannot be left under the high-tension wire. So we gave them enough notice, but people didn't adhere to it because we told them to relocate. When we tell you to relocate, the first thing we will do is for you to relocate your school. But if you fail to do it on the expected date, then we will not have any option than to come with a task force and get the school closed immediately. So that's something we have done in Orile Agege at the moment.
According to her, the enforcement exercise was to ensure strict compliance to the Lagos State Ministry of Education's approved guidelines for operating a school in the state.
I just want to advise private school owners that we're there to support them. We're not there that we want to shut schools down. That's not our ultimate goal. But at the same time, what we're not ready to compromise with is the life of our children. We're not ready to compromise with the life of the children. We're not ready to compromise with standards in schools. We want all our children, irrespective of wherever they may belong to, whether private or public schools, they must be under good and secured learning environment at all times. It must be conducive, secured learning environments, and that's something we're seriously propagating and that we want everybody to really help us to do. So if schools are not in the right places, if the buildings are defective, we will not have any option than to shut down the schools.
She reiterated the Lagos State government's commitment to preparing future leaders who will be fully equipped to move the state forward. She insisted that conducive and standardized environment, quality teaching and learning, monitoring and evaluation of schools, safeguarding and child protection practices remain the prerequisite for the approval of schools.
At the moment, Office of Education Quality Assurance, we've been going around. I mean, in Alimocho recently, we did about 514 schools just to mobilize to see schools with defective buildings. Some of them, we've referred them to Ministry of Environment. Some of them have been referred to Ministry of Physical Planning for them to look into their buildings as quickly as possible. Some of them are not approved at all, and so we've signposted them to Ministry of Education for them to start with the approval process immediately. And some of them are definitely nothing to write home about. They're not going to be approvable because of the condition of the facilities. So those schools have been given letters to relocate immediately, because at the end of the day, by the end of the session, we expect schools to please relocate to better and conducive environment as quickly as possible.
She, however, advised school owners where closure and relocation notices had been pasted and served to desist from removing the said notices, stating that such attracts strict sanctions and prosecution by the state government.